you little baby vamps. Welcome to my course on how to be a vampire. My name is Montague, and I have been a vampire for 444 years, exactly. So, yes, as you can see, how to be a vampire. Don't mind my handwriting, it's not the best. So you're all here tonight because, well, your makers are either too busy, just don't care for the lot of you, don't feel like dealing with you baby vamps and all of your questions. So that's where I come in, and I've been paid a handsome sum to instruct you on how to be a vampire and what it entails. So let's look over your itinerary. To start, you will have an itinerary on the tables in front of you. Right. We're going to first discuss the relationship between a maker and their progeny, which is you. All you baby vamps are progenies, all your creators are makers. Meet. Your maker. So often when humans are turned into vampires, it is not always a pleasant awakening. Not all makers come in the same shapes and sizes, and you can have a different relationship with your maker depending on who it is. For instance, some are lucky to have more sympathetic or compassionate makers who have more of a parental relationship and take on their progenies like a child. Some, however, not all vampires are meant to be makers, you could say, and some do often neglect or reject their progenies. Alas, how you've ended up here, lost and confused on how to make your way in the world as a vampire. So, some makers choose to have more romantic or sexual relations with their progenies. Yes. So anyway, a progeny may turn a vampire and become a maker themselves while still under the influence of their own maker. However, the grand maker has no control over the grandchild or grand progeny. next, Maker's abilities. So, we'll just discuss briefly now what powers your Maker has over you. You've probably experienced some of this already, but let's just go over it now, okay? So, your Maker can call you at any time, simply by calling out your name. Anywhere you are in the world, you'll be able to hear your Maker and know exactly where they are, and you will be then in turn commanded to return to them. You usually feel a shiver coming over you. This can be a bit more intense depending on the strength of your Maker. Now getting into the next, commanding. A Maker can force the progeny to do anything against your will, simply by saying, as your Maker, I command you. Okay? It's quite a pain, but you'll get used to it. Okay, next on your itinerary, next. Strength. Yes, so the older the vampire, the stronger they are. So, like I said, I am over 400 years old. So, essentially, if I wanted to, I could snap you all in half like twigs. Yes, so you, brand new baby vamp, up against me, 400-year-old vamp, don't stand a chance. However, if I were to come across a 1,000-year-old vampire, for instance, I would indeed struggle and probably lose. So yes, the older, the stronger. Next, we talk about the empathetic link. So this can come in handy for you as a new vamp. If you are in any kind of danger or any kind of pain, your Maker will be able to sense this no matter the distance between you, and they will come to your rescue in most cases. What's next? Yes. Okay. So you are releasing. Now you are bound to your Maker, and they are able to command you, call you, all of this, and have complete control over you for the rest of your existence, however long that may be. However, if there is an agreement between you and your Maker, they can release you. They will simply say, as your Maker, I release you. It's that simple. With those words said, you will immediately feel a disconnect between between you and your Maker. Yes, it doesn't happen quite often, but under certain circumstances, you never know. Alright, so that's all I have to go over about Maker-progeny relations. So next, let's say yes. Next, we're moving on to vampire anatomy. Okay. Alright. So first, yes. Yes, as vampire, we are essentially deceased, dead, kaput. We have no bodily functions whatsoever. The only fluid contained in our body is blood. So, let me ask, have any of you cried yet? Ah, you over there. Yes, I can see that. So, it can come as quite a shock to baby vamps that when we cry, we do not have tear ducts, so actually blood would spill from our pretty little eyes, and can get quite messy, especially if you're a crybaby. So I would just suggest, Will, turning off your emotions completely. Believe me, by the time you're 100, I doubt you'll ever cry again. So, yes, bloody crying. That's next. Oh, your fangs. Your fangs can be removed. This comes usually. Usually this will happen if in a moment of torture, per se, someone's attacking you, blah blah blah. So yeah, but they can grow back in 3 months. Quite painful though. Okay, next. Oh yes, and next we're going to go over ghastly. Anyway, feeding. You gotta eat, right? Okay, so as vampires, the only thing we are reliant upon is blood. Now, in our modern times, we have human blood, of course, but we have the good old new true blood, synthetic blood, that has allowed us to come out of hiding. Now that the humans know we can just drink the bottled stuff and not them, well, at least that's what the authority has them to believe. But anyway, so blood. What kind of blood can you drink? You can drink human blood, synthetic blood, and you can also drink creatures that are closer to humans, such as werewolves and shifters. Most other supernatural creatures, we cannot drink their blood, we don't sustain it, except for one exception, which is the blood of fairies. And these fairies are very hard to come across. They're very rare, but if you do come across one, you will know right away, simply by their smell. You see, a fairy's blood is exquisite to a vampire. It smells of honey and flowers and is much more potent and delicious than any kind of human blood. So, if you get your hands on some fairy blood, you're a lucky duck. Yes, they call it the catnip for vampires. Now, if you're bound to moral dilemma and you do not want to feed on any living creature, human, then we have the synthetic choices of true blood. Now, there's different flavors, and as I'm sure some of you have already tried a few true blood, right? Yes, so some of them just taste outright awful at first, but the trick is mixing two different blood types. You have O, A, B, and AB, both in positive and negative. So for instance, I tend to mix positive O with negative B, and it's somewhat tolerable. It sustains us nutritionally, however it does not seem to satisfy cravings. So, what will happen if we do not feed? If we do not feed on blood, we will get the bleeds. Yes, bleeds. B-L-E-E-D-S. So, and the bleeds come from nose, eyes and ears. It's a ghastly sight. This also happens if we don't sleep during the day, so get your beauty rest, or you'll be bleeding all over, and it's just very, very unattractive. Alright, next. Next we're going to focus on glamourine. Not quite sure why I just did that. Alright. Glamourine. Couldn't fit it. Yeah. So. What's in the card here? Okay, so glamourine. What is glamourine, children? Glamourine is a form of hypnosis or mind compulsion. Hey. Be quiet over there. Be quiet. Don't test me. I don't care if you make it paid for this course. Get off your phone. Disrespectful. Anyway. Glamourine form of hypnosis or mind compulsion. So, this is how we control humans. Glamourine is not an innate ability that comes to you as soon as you're born as a vampire, as I'm sure many of you have discovered when you failed miserably to glamour even the most simpleton of humans. So, practice makes perfect when it comes to glamourine. So, this is just, let's see. Yeah, look at me. Okay, now we cannot glamour other vampires or supernatural creatures such as maenads, witches. We can only glamour humans. What you're going to do is you're going to focus in intensely, eye contact, like that. And you're just going to have to always get their eye contact or it won't work. And you're going to stare them dead in the eyes as if there's an eternity between the two of you. And you cannot let go of the gaze. Once you have them in your gaze, you'll know, because a sort of gauze like will come over their eyes. They'll look like they are kind of lost and stoned, to say the least. So you gotta keep that eye contact, and you gotta believe that you have this control over them. And then whatever you want them to do, you just say it. Like, for instance, if you want them to invite you into their home, since as vampires we need an invitation, so you would say, you will invite me in. And you just got to really work the charms. You're hypnotizing them with your eyes and with your vampiric powers. You just got to really fully believe this, okay? Alright. So, like I said, it takes practice, but you'll get it after a few tries. And it comes quite in handy if you want to make them forget, if you want to feed on one and then make them to forget about it, so they can be your little snack whenever you like, that kind of thing. Alright, so finally we're going to talk about what are vampires? Weakness, otherwise known as what can can kill us, because even though we are essentially immortal, we are also able to die. So, Pandora's box. Right, this is very important, probably the most important thing for you to know. So, listen, yeah, especially you in the back. Weaknesses. The first way that we can die is decapitation. Yes, so in order for this to actually kill us, you do have to be completely decapitated, whole head come off, fall on the floor, roll over and such. Someone simply breaking our neck or twisting it around can heal and therefore will not kill you. So yeah, don't get your head cut off. Another weakness I mentioned is entry into a human's home. You must either have them invite you in or glamour them. Next is exsanguination, which is when a vampire is completely drained blood. Eventually, the first stage will be comatose, and you'll eventually perish if you are not replenished with enough blood to heal. Fire. So if a vampire is in a fire, we will get wounds and we will burn, but you can heal given time and enough blood. If not, then you'll eventually perish. This is a rarity, but if you come across a Maenad, do not try to attack them. They are extremely powerful ancient beings, and their blood is a poison to us. You will choke and vomit and get very sick if you are to drink from Maenad. Silver. This is commonly known, but silver weakens and binds us. Often, if a vampire is kidnapped, abducted, they will be chained up with silver because it burns our skin and severely weakens us. Okay, this is a big one. Why do we sleep in coffins during the day, children? Yes, the sun. So the sun is now your enemy. The sun will, if you go out in the daytime, the sun will immediately begin to burn your skin, and after a few minutes you will explode and burst into a pile of very icky blood. And actually, the older the vampire, the quicker they are to burn. So there's the one instance where older vampire is not does not benefit them. Okay, and the last thing is that of wood, whether it be in the form of a stake or wooden bullets. If a wood stake goes through your heart or a bullet goes through your heart, then you will die. Okay? So, I believe that's it for today's lesson. Right. So, those are some of the prime key factors in being a vampire. We will conduct more lessons. However, I have no more time tonight, and do have more pressing matters to attend to. So I very much hope that all of you are now feeling a little bit more insightful as to your vampire nature. Alright, say hello to your makers for me. It's been swell. I'll see you at the next lesson. Ciao.